Otafest, welcome back. It's the podcast. Here we are,
Woo!
Second episode, season 8. I have nothing else to say on that matter, so keep listening, goddammit, if you know what's good for you.
If you know what's good for you.
Dang, I'm invested. Tell me more.
Nancy, you're here. Angelo, you're here. That means we got the crew together again for another episode. Imagine that. That's crazy.
Hey.
That's 2 weeks in a row.
Oh my gosh, and what a week it's been.
No one's ever listening ever again. They're gonna be like, I hated that intro.
Don't be so hard on yourself.
We need the air horns. We need the air horn sound.
But damn, what
I
a
sure
week it has been.
Yeah, things happened.
There are years where nothing happens, and then there are weeks where decades happen. God damn.
Like,
True.
Queen Elizabeth passing away was actually a shock to me because, dang, I grew up with her. She was immortal.
My money's gonna be different.
You grew up with her. I grew up with her. Our
Yeah.
parents grew up with her.
Yeah.
Chances are their parents either saw her coronated or also grew up with her.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Your girl was on the throne for 69 years or something.
I thought it was actually 70 years, but okay. Yeah.
It would have been nicer.
The round 70?
At least 69 years. Okay.
Exactly. Good start.
At least
Jeez.
2 days.
But yeah, it's been an interesting little week for sure.
Yeah. There's going to be a lot of changes in the world after this. It's going to be a ride.
Back to the patriarchy.
Oh, yeah, I guess so. I guess so.
Or not. Or not.
I mean, no, in
Who
a
knows?
literal sense, yes. There's an old man at the top of it all.
Yes. But also maybe not. We'll see.
I mean, it just transfers to another old dude.
And I mean, once that old dude is no longer the dude with the hat, one of his kids will be.
Yeah. It's just Team Fortress, but more, I don't know, formal?
Apparently, okay, so I didn't know this. I didn't know this until I was reading an article about it the other day. There's 2 different crowns. There's the one really fancy crown that's kept in like the Tower of London or whatever.
Yep.
And it's got like the red poofy bit.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently that crown is only worn for coronation
Yes.
because it weighs like 9 or 10 pounds.
It's heavy. There's a lot of gold and jewels on it. It's heavy.
Good lord.
Having not watched a coronation, I've been to the Tower of London and I've seen it, and yeah, the thing is huge. It would crush my little neck.
I think the coronation is like next Saturday or something like that. I could be wrong.
This
I don't
coming
remember.
Saturday or
maybe, well,
next
it's either
Saturday?
today or it's next Saturday. I
Wow.
don't know.
By the way, we're recording on a Saturday.
Yes. The interesting thing is like in our lifetimes, there have been several like major events in the world. And I'm not saying that in everyone's lifetime there hasn't been several major events in the world, but some are just more long-standing events where they truly do happen like once in someone's lifetime or less. Like some people will never have seen a coronation. Some people, I guess a pope getting like transferred over is a big one too. Like I remember when Pope John Paul II got transferred, or like he passed rather, and then we had Benedict for a while, and then I was reading up on this because it was just sort of, I was on a major world events kick, and he was one of the first popes to like leave office while still alive, and that hadn't been done since the 1400s. So that's kind of a thing.
If you are the Pope, retiring usually isn't an option.
No.
So good for him.
But I think the current one is also thinking of retiring and I'm like, I'm okay with that. Like, I don't really get why you have to be in office forever. There's very few jobs that really require you to do that until death. And let's be honest, if you're doing it until death, you're probably, the last few bits aren't when you're in a good state to do the job anyways.
You're probably no longer in your prime.
Yeah. So I thought that was interesting. But more so than anything else, it's sort of like it comes at such a weird part of history now with all the things that we've experienced in the last few years that it just makes the world seem more volatile and scary to people, which I understand.
Well, not only that, like over the last 2 months, we've had Shinzo Abe, we've had Mikhail Gorbachev, and now Queen Elizabeth
Also
II.
true.
Mm.
Lots of people from different walks.
Mm-hmm.
It's an interesting time.
I understand it. None of the instances are related,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean, you look at that and you're just like, God damn,
Yeah.
what's going on here?
Yeah, and not
Are-
to be gloomy about it, it's just I'm realizing too that there's so much change all at once.
Mm-hmm.
I find a lot of comfort in you two, just so you know.
Aw, thank you.
Aw.
But if you ask me, clearly this is some sort of cover-up for some lizard person battle royale.
Honestly, I think we can find comfort in things that are always the same.
It like this.
Yes.
Like this.
Yes. And you know what? You know what was the same
But different.
this week?
The same but different.
The podcast intro?
Ribfest.
Ribfest, which I missed.
Oh, yeah.
Ribfest.
Which I very unfortunately
Nancy
missed.
unfortunately
You
missed.
should have come. It was the weather was
couldn't.
very good because and
Nancy
it wasn't
had band
blazing.
practice.
Yes, Nancy had Nancy had band practice, but I want to hear first about all the ribs I missed out on.
It was fantastic.
Rib number 1, very good. Rib number 2, excellent. The third bone, also quite tasty.
Oh, now, you know what? Now that I think about it, there is differences between different part of the ribs. Jay, did you get to the end part of your ribs last night?
Yeah, I finished my first order.
Okay.
I bought 2 orders of ribs.
Okay, hold on.
One
Can
to
we
take
back up a
home.
little bit? Can we back up? When you guys ordered ribs, were they like the full, like 8-inch, 9-inch ribs that you like, you know,
I
you
did.
hold to your face and you just sort of nom off of
Or-
it? Yeah, okay.
Oh,
we're
no.
not,
oh,
we're
no.
not
You're
talking about.
beef ribs. I'm talking about like the full rack.
Yeah.
They had no beef ribs. I was upset.
Unfortunately, it didn't look like there were any beef ribs. Maybe they just weren't there
No,
yet.
I
Maybe they didn't have any this year.
How much variety was there?
There were 3 different rib stalls.
Okay.
And so what I got, I didn't go too crazy. I got a pound of brisket and a full rack of ribs to share between me and Dio.
Jesus.
And a bloomin' onion, of course. Good Lord. The brisket was like tender, juicy. Just absolutely mouth-watering. The ribs, because they were pork ribs, they were fall off the bone tender. They had a good bark on them. The sauce was absolutely fantastic. Ooh. The only regret is that I didn't get any cornbread. I was like, this is so much food. I have a bloomin' onion. I have brisket. I have ribs. Do I have room for cornbread? At the beginning, I thought I didn't. At the end, I knew I didn't have room for cornbread, but I still wish I got some.
Okay. The bloomin' onion. I gotta ask. Can you still taste it today?
No.
Really?
No, it was also subpar.
Oh.
It was so okay. When I say subpar, and also I don't like the term subpar. I need to stop using that term
You can call it mid.
because I'm a pedantic jerk about words, and subpar doesn't make any sense to me because par
In the new tongue, mid is the PG way of calling something shit.
Oh,
true.
wow.
It is mid, and I know about that. But quickly, the thing about subpar, it's okay to be subpar. You're supposed to be subpar. That's the whole point of golf is to be sub.
So what you're saying is that bloomin' onion was a bogey.
Yeah, that bloomin' onion was a bogey, and the size was a bit of a bogey. It's smaller than I thought it would be. It's
Oh.
not made of a giant onion.
I've
I have a
only seen
picture
it at
for you.
Stampede, so I've only seen the giant ones.
Yes. Number 2 is that the batter they used was wrong.
Oh, wait,
Like,
hold on.
It was sort of a slightly cakey batter versus like a nice crisp like onion ring batter.
Oh, so they used a dry batter instead of a wet one.
It was a wet batter. No, it was wet.
Just
But,
okay.
The other thing was like normally the middle is like hold out to hold your sauce, right?
Sure.
No, they just gave you a box of sauce.
Oh, maybe that was for soggy reasons.
The hole was there, And instead of putting the sauce in there, they put the sauce in like, not just like a little sauce cup or something good for dipping.
No.
In like, you see, there's the long box that the fries are in that picture. That's what they put the sauce in. So there's just like a centimeter pool of sauce at the bottom of that.
Yeah, it was very weird.
Oh, so not the best eating situation. Gotcha.
I mean, overall, the food was very good.
As
it
usual.
was just, but when things were like mid, then it stood out.
Yes.
Such as
I
the
see.
blooming onion.
I see.
And when I say such as, I mean only the blooming onion, because everything else was pretty good. We got the bucket of lemonade. Everyone's probably seen all this summer with the little ducky pond.
It's cute.
The lemonade was exceptionally good. It had like full sprigs of mint in it.
Yum.
One or two whole lemons and limes like quartered and squeezed into there.
Oh, damn.
It had strawberry popping boba at the bottom.
Oh,
Very tasty.
that's what that is.
Yeah.
I love those.
And a nice little rubber ducky. And it was
Bubba
like a
ducky.
half-gallon bucket.
The fries were
So
good.
it's a lot of
the meat
lemonade.
was good. I had the beans and the coleslaw were good.
The coleslaw was very tasty.
Everything was good.
Tasty.
I traded a bite of brisket for a bite of the coleslaw, and I don't regret it.
Coleslaw was tasty. I love a good slaw. Slaw is like, you need that acidity and refreshment.
I
Very
want
tasty.
my slaw.
So yeah, Ribfest was a thing. And then there was a lot of stupid people who didn't go.
Hey.
And
Hey.
No, we're not
No,
you.
no.
Not you.
This was a discussion that we were actually having in the car.
Yeah.
We were turning into McMahon Stadium, and Crowchild Trail was exceptionally busy, as you could imagine at 6 p.m. on a Friday evening. It was very, very busy. And while we were waiting for our left turn, I would not be surprised if 1,000 cars passed us by, and not one other car was turning into Ribfest.
What? No way.
Yeah.
The worst. It's not that it wasn't busy. It was like there were definitely a good amount of people there, but
There was plenty
Lot
of
of
parking
fools.
available for free. There was no admission. Basically, you just walk up and you buy ribs
Wow. I
and
mean,
have a fantastic meal.
great experience for you, I guess. But yeah, what's going on?
yeah.
I did notice last night, so I had band practice last night instead, which is why I wasn't at Ribfest. I did notice, though, at like 10:45 when I was leaving, that there was still tons of traffic going over the flyover to get into downtown. There was something going on yesterday, but I just don't know what.
Not that I heard of.
That's something that I've noticed. The last couple days when I've been trying to use the flyover, it's constantly congested. One of those times was because one of the lanes was shut down, just some
Ooh.
construction. Last night when I used it, well, it was during rush hour, so what do I expect? But I don't know what's going on. Downtown is
Pumping?
very busy.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on either. I just noticed it because, one, that's the first time I've been out while it was dark for a while. And two, there was just a lot of cars for 10:45 at night. Even on a Friday, that's kind of exceptional.
Well, I mean, especially for downtown. Downtown dies after 5 p.m., you know?
Exactly.
Like 6 p.m. rolls around and it's basically a ghost town for everywhere except 17th
Oh, I
Ave.
know. There was like an autumn festival thing in Chinatown.
Oh!
Okay, that might explain it.
Maybe that's it.
And apparently it wasn't over this entire weekend. It was only yesterday, I heard. So I didn't get to go.
Aw.
And maybe that's why. I don't freaking know.
Man, I'm missing out on so much.
The trade-off was ribs or band practice instead of autumn festival. Are you happy with your choice? I'm happy with my choice.
Okay, yes. I mean, it was a rockin' good time yesterday. Like, literally, we went through our set list 4 or 5 times. Got a couple of tweaks out. But the most interesting thing last night is that this was our first time playing with actual speakers, monitors, and the real drum kit, not the electronic one.
Nice.
So I had my musician's earplugs in, and damn, it was loud in there. I couldn't hear myself, which is really confusing when you're a singer.
Oh, I bet. Like, even for me, when I'm streaming, I have to make sure that my own volume is turned down low enough so that I can hear myself speak through whatever I'm hearing, through my own headphones. Otherwise, if I can't hear myself, I start screaming. and I have no idea.
Well, yeah, that's what most people do when they can't hear themselves, right? Like when same thing, when you're in a vocal recording booth, if they have monitoring headphones for you and for some reason the person before you had that turned all the way down, you don't hear yourself anymore. You hear the audio you're supposed to be talking over, but you don't hear yourself, and it just, I can't. I need to be able to hear me. Otherwise, I have like half the headphone on and off, like on one ear, off one ear, and that just starts falling off because I have like a tiny head because I'm small.
That's sort of like the thing, that effect where people speak into a mic and they have a pair of like noise canceling headphones on, and then it has a slight delay, and that messes people up too. Like,
Yeah.
people don't really
it
know
makes you feel drunk.
how in tuned you actually need to be to your own voice, shall we say, or like the synchronization of like sound essentially within your own headspace, because it's very easy to throw that environment off essentially, and then you get someone who just speaks gibberish because of it. I think it's pretty funny. Can't really tune for those things.
I've seen videos of that, and I have tried it once, and I was just like, no, I can't do this. This is messing with me. Because I am used to what it's like to be in like a dubbing booth, for example, where it's like you hear the voices of other people around you, but you're also supposed to hear what your microphone hears.
Yeah, I've the times I've done it, maybe like 2 times, I think. I generally can speak through it. I just speak slower, but not to a point where I'm like hesitant or like really weird about it. It's just a little bit more concentrated.
Yeah. But like, you know, they say you can hear your voice in your head when the band is that loud and you're in a room that small with a real drum kit. And you have keys, a guitar, and a bassist, and then 3 other vocalists. I can say for sure that I can barely hear myself when I'm singing, and sometimes I can't even hear the other singers. Like, it sounds like I'm almost a little bit worried that like the audience wouldn't be able to hear us. But the guys playing the instruments are like, oh no, we can hear you fine. So I'm like, what the heck? This is the weirdest thing. So up until now, we had been performing with headphones because we had an electronic drum kit. So we needed to be able to hear the drums, as well as, keyboard, which is you need to program your keyboard. And so between songs, he has like this really neat app on his MacBook that he uses to change the different tones out. So cool, but it also goes out into the headphones, and then both of the electric guitars go out into the headphones. So I'm used to hearing everything through the headphones, and then all of a sudden they've given us real instrument speakers. So now everything is going through speakers, and it's so loud with the drum kit there. I like can't hear anything but the music. So now I'm not sure what I'm singing anymore. It's really strange. And that was our dress rehearsal. So that's the last practice that we have before we do it on stage for reals next week.
Oh, wow.
And I'm just like, well, we gonna rock this, right? We're gonna rock this. We're the headliner. We'll be good. Yeah, okay. So it's gonna be a great time. But yeah, that was an interesting experience. And it goes right back to Angelo talking about his electronic, or how he has a drum kit, but he's got the silencers on it.
Yes. When you're playing drums, and Nancy, you felt this with real like acoustic drums, you hear it, of course. They're loud.
You feel it in your chest.
You also feel it, like you were just saying. It has pressure waves that just completely change the experience compared to electronic drums.
For sure.
I certainly think that electronic drums have rights, because for most people, they do not have the space. They do not have the space for real drums. Like, either because they're in an apartment, or because they're living with other people that just can't tolerate the noise, or maybe they just legitimately don't have space for them. It's just such a nice experience playing on real drums instead. Even with like the muting pads that I have. They're basically a 1/4-inch pad of foam that goes over the drum skin, or a piece of rubber skin that goes over the cymbals to basically mute it. They don't sound at all like drums anymore, but just the way that you hit them hits different than the electronic sets. The one cool thing about electronic sets, though, if you're like streaming or trying to record them or anything like that, because you get the pure electric signal, you can do a lot of interesting stuff with that. Whereas with an acoustic set, well, you just have to set up microphones and hope for the best.
Yeah. So, fantastic thing happened, and this is kind of not a rite of passage, but like something to be proud of. Our drummer broke his very first drumstick last night.
Nice.
It was a great moment, and when I found it, I was like, "Damn, man, how hard did you hit this thing?" Like the top 2.5 inches just like flew right off, splintered right off, and you're just like, "Damn."
Like every time I've broken drumsticks, it's because they were either really old or really cheap and shitty. But the reality is, like, when you get into it, you can start like hitting the cymbals if they're not at the right angle, almost in a way where your cymbals become like a wood chipper almost. Like, goddamn.
Yeah.
Especially like the hi-hat for me. Usually I have it a little bit higher and I hit it right on the rim. So the stick that I use for my right hand always has the head a little bit more chewed up than the other one.
Yeah, I could see that.
Not gonna lie, as much as it sucks if you break your only pair of sticks, which I mean, don't have one pair of sticks, have at least two. But if you break your only pair of sticks, it sucks because, well, that's my stick god.
God gave you hands,
but you feel like a badass. It's like, yes,
you got to bongo style your way through the rest of the set.
I smash stick.
I very fondly remember the time I caught a drumstick that the drummer for Teresa's threw out into the crowd. I'm very happy about this.
Nice. I'm glad I imagine you caught it with your hands and not with your eyes.
Yes, I did catch it with my hands. Thank goodness.
Shrapnel.
Shrapnel to the eyes via drumstick.
I mean,
Nancy starts getting
all things
war
considered.
Flashbacks. It's a bad time.
I personally feel like throwing a drumstick is like throwing a pencil, except the drumstick has 10 times more mass behind it.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, you got to be careful.
Great band practice last night. It was so fun, and everyone was just slightly tipsy.
Nice.
It was great, and we had walked down the street to Little Empire for dinner, so we had like burgers and hot dogs in us, and also drinks.
Ooh.
So it was just like a really good evening. Maybe not as good as Ribfest in terms of food, but like the band chemistry is just so enjoyable.
That sounds so nice.
And like I mentioned before, our drummer is blind, so it's really, really interesting when he starts pointing out certain things, but also noticing just how much it doesn't really hamper him at all. Like, he knows when someone's approaching him, he can tell. Even if you're wearing like the quietest sneakers in the world, he can tell that someone's walking up to him at a table when he's sitting down. He acknowledges that you're there, and you're just like, this is really, like, I don't know a lot of vision impaired people, so it's just been so cool hanging out with him. He is just one of the genuinely most coolest people I know.
Man, he's like musical Daredevil.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
Yes. One thing that I want to talk about is lately I've been having some soundboard issues.
Oh no.
So I feel like ever since I replaced my graphics card a little while ago, actually, did I talk about that last episode? I think I did. How my old GPU died and I replaced it with a new one. And ever since I did that, certain things on my PC weren't working right. One thing that was really wrong was whenever I'd start streaming, I couldn't tell what was going on. But at a certain point into the stream, my audio in my headphones would start getting really crackly. And I'd be like, what is this? Why is it doing this? And my chat would start being like, hey, your microphone is sounding a little bit rough there. And I'd unmute my stream and I'd be like, oh, I'm sounding like I've got a solar flare literally above my house. What's going on?
Oof.
I thought my soundboard was dying.
Oh, no.
And I was like really worried about it. I was trying to figure everything out to the point where last week, after Nancy said something about the podcast rate, I was like, okay, there's got to be something wrong with my soundboard. I'm going to get a new audio interface. And so I went on Amazon. I bought myself a Scarlett Solo, basically the cheapest, somewhat decent, the cheapest non-mid interface you could get.
Basically.
It's good. I'm going to stream tonight. Nothing can go wrong. I stream. And as soon as I go into my Sprite scene in OBS and into my art scene in OBS, I get the telltale crackling, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? This is a new interface. It shouldn't be having this issue. And then it dawns on me. It finally dawns on me after having this issue for like 2 months. It's a software issue explicitly in OBS. Explicitly in OBS. And so I'm like, okay, I don't like doing tech troubleshooting live on stream, but it's a tech support stream now, baby. Let's go.
I've done that.
I start fiddling around, and I find that it's only the one scene that it's happening on.
Weird.
And so I start like unclicking things on the scene, making sure that they're hidden to find out what's causing it. And I finally find out that it is literally the window capture for Sprite, a pixel art program that I use. The window capture for it specifically is causing the issue.
Why?
And I couldn't figure it out. I opened up the thing, and there was a checkbox for multi-adapter compatibility. I unchecked that, and the problem went away.
Oof.
Okay.
That is a default setting for the window capture, and I looked it up to see what it was going on with it. What is this setting that would make the issue so prominent? And apparently it is a setting to make things work with video cards and SLI or things of that nature. Like SLI or Crossfire is where you have 2 graphics cards in your PC, and they're connected together so that you get double the data force to gloss over things a little bit. And I don't know why that would cause it. But after that, all the crackling went away. I was still using the Scarlett Solo. I didn't plug in my Mackie back, my nicer soundboard. And I was like, what's going on? ¿Por qué? So hopefully I'm going to run some more experiments. This podcast being one of them. Hopefully everything with my audio works out this time.
We shall see.
And hopefully my next stream works completely fine. Because then I can save myself $170 by returning the other interface.
I mean, it's a pretty solid interface. I like it because it's nice and portable, right? It's small.
It's very small. It's very cute. The only thing that that I don't like about it is that if you're using it as an audio interface, I don't know what causes this, but this is a very niche use case I find. In OBS, for your Windows speaker output or my Mackie output, I can control the volume up and down for myself, and Stream sees it all as one volume, which is really great. For the Scarlett Solo, for whatever reason, if I turn the volume up or down, it also turns its volume up or down for the stream, which is really bad.
Wait, what? For the gain knob?
Not the game knob, the monitoring knob.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah. So it's just very odd. I can work around that by plugging my headphones directly into the speaker headphone jack. It's just, for various reasons, it's easier if I don't have to do that. So I'd like to keep working with my Mackie soundboard because it's just overall nicer. It has more options for me.
Be fair.
If I have to keep the Scarlett, I won't be sad, but
Mildly annoyed.
We'll see.
Speaking of Scarlet, and maybe for something that is less technical in nature, for people who don't deal with
Pokemon dropped.
any audio equipment ever other than generally headphones.
We got some Pokemon news over the week too.
Violet, Scarlet, Pokemon, Hot Boy.
On Thursday. On Thursday I was scrolling through Twitter and I was seeing some artworks that looked like this cool blue dude with swords on his hands and this other ketchup and mustard guy with gun arms, and I'm like, oh, a new Mega Man game. This is fantastic. This looks like some 3D versions of Mega Man Battle Network. I'm here for it. I love Mega Man Battle Network. Let's go. And that I was baited. Those weren't Mega Man screenshots at all. Those were Pokemon screenshots. Oh my god. Oh my lord. Capcom lawyers are furiously working as we speak to see what they can do about Nintendo.
Capcom has like half of the
Capcom
lawyer.
can't do shit about Nintendo.
Capcom has Like on a really side note here, Capcom for being around as long as it has is actually one of the smaller companies in
Oh, they're
gaming.
tiny.
Like they're like even with titles like Resident Evil that everyone knows or whatever, like they only really hit their stride very recently with Monster Hunter World selling like the most copies of any of their games ever, and like by a significant margin of like two-digit millions versus like single-digit millions where they usually have, which is kind of like it's not that they're unsuccessful, but they're also not as successful as you think when they. But you have franchises like Resident Evil and Street Fighter and all these things. Capcom is not a huge player for some reason, even though they have really good IPs.
Yeah,
Anyways,
very true.
yeah.
So I find out that these aren't Mega Man. This Armor Rouge and Ceruledge are Pokemon? Nani?
They're nice looking.
I like the style. I really do.
Yeah.
I like the designs. I like the designs as character designs, but I don't like them as Pokemon designs, if you get me.
Why?
So this is such a minor gripe that I feel like people should rightfully point and laugh at me for having it.
Okay.
I
we
don't
will.
like
Don't worry.
humanoid-looking Pokemon.
Haha, you fool. Mr. Mime.
Oh, I hate Mr.
Oh,
Mime.
man.
Mr.
every
Mime
single way.
is Ash
Mr.
Ketchum's
Mime is the
stepdad.
worst. It's true. And it's horrible.
Oh, okay.
When you get to like really humanoid-looking Pokemon,
Jinx.
and especially when there's too many of them, it starts feeling really weird for me. Like if I'm throwing a ball to capture a dog or a bird or something, I feel like there's no real ethical issues like that.
So
When I'm throwing a ball to capture something, that's
Okay.
basically
You know what?
one cartoon filter away from being a human.
here's it. So I'm going to tell you right now. That as an avid Pokemon fan, there is an egg group. Like when you do breeding, Pokemon fit into egg groups. There's like water. There's like a mineral. There's grass. There's dragon. Like you kind of get they
Yeah.
sort of fit into similar to typings, but not exactly. But one of the typings for egg groups is called human-like. Okay,
Oh no.
so this is a PG version of a Smasher Pass. Okay, I'm going to throw it to you, both of you. What is an acceptable human-shaped Pokemon that is still a Pokemon? Because in that egg group, it involves things like Machamp. Machamp is very clearly human.
Oh yeah.
Human-like. Is that too close, or is that still a Pokemon to you?
So in the case
Answer
of
the
Machamp,
question.
the face is what really makes him feel different. Machamp feels like a duck
Uh-huh.
who lives, you know?
Because otherwise, there's other ones like there's Hypno. Hypno is
Yes.
a human shape.
No, Hypno is like almost too human.
Ugh.
Okay, there's obviously Mr. Mime,
Mr. Mime is a crime against nature.
right? There's do you know who Sableye is?
Sableye, is that the green little gremlin with the crystal eyes?
It's not green, it's purple, but
Purple gremlin, right.
yeah, with the jewel gremlin.
That one I actually really like because it is based off of a UFO encounter. What was it called? Like the Kentucky Gremlins or something like that.
Okay.
It is legitimately based off of a UFO encounter, and I love that.
There's the original waifu, Gardevoir.
Yeah, you if you want to respect someone, you can't ask them to smash or pass and put Gardevoir in there because the answer is always yes.
All right. There's there's Lucario. Lucario is
Lucario is like the classic furry bait.
It is. I think that's the
Like-
part where they were like, we know we have a demographic.
Lucario and Lot Bunny.
Lopunny? Yes.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying,
Nintendo
like, out
knew
of all of those,
exactly
like,
what they were doing.
there's many more. There's many more, but like, which ones of those are like, you are a Pokemon versus you're a human, don't go in the ball.
Mr. Mime and Jinx specifically, definitely do not put them in the ball. Hitmonchan, absolutely do not put them in the ball. That is too much. Honestly, I even feel like Machoke and Machamp, you probably shouldn't. Gardevoir, absolutely not. Gardevoir is like basically a human who has a red thing stabbed in their chest. I don't know what's going on there. Lot Bunny feels like a weird Soviet experiment, you know? That you hear about like 40 years later.
I need to look up a picture now just to make sure I remember what they look like.
Like Lot Bunny seems like something
Punny.
La Punny.
Yes.
It feels like someone just took a rabbit head and grafted it onto a human body, and that's just really uncomfortable.
Yeah, okay. What?
If there's a bunny girl Pokemon, why isn't there a cat girl Pokemon?
Because Persian is already
It's just a cat.
yeah.
It's not even just a cat, it's a name of a type of cat too.
Throw and Sock absolutely do not capture. Those are they're literally just Throw is literally just a guy with a sunburn, and Sock just forgot his jacket on the way to work.
Oh boy.
Let's be real.
Oh geez.
See, there's also like Return to Monkey. There's like Infernape. Infernape's probably okay as a Pokemon. There's a lot. All I'm saying is it's a thin line.
Yeah. I just realized I think Gardevoir actually has legs.
Yes, Gardevoir has legs.
Yeah, okay. That crosses a line for me for some reason. I don't know why. I always thought she didn't... Wait, she?
Yeah, it's always a female.
Yeah.
Are they?
I was double checking.
Yes.
No, it's 50%.
Yeah, I thought there could be male Gardevoirs.
Oh, yeah, because Gardevoir came out first, but Gallade, which is also very human. Gallade is the male equivalent, and it's only male, I believe. Yeah.
There's just something about, like, the very feminine nature, but also the fact that it looks like she has arms and legs. Like, now that I know that she has legs, it's like,
Like, Gardevoir is literally just an
have
alien
legs.
in a dress.
Yeah.
Literally just an alien in a dress.
But then there's, like, actual gremlins at the bottom of the page that I linked, where it's like, no, you're Pokemon.
Kirlia.
Impidimp, Morgrim, and Grimmsnarl?
They're Pokemon.
Okay.
Dang.
So I would actually go as far as to say that they're non-humanoid enough to be perfectly acceptable to capture, and therefore they're clearly Pokemon. But at the same time, I feel like overly Christian parents would look at them and be like, "This is the devil's game.
Whoa.
Little Timmy,
they've said that
you can
forever.
no longer play the Pokemans."
You're, like, super late on that boat.
Oh, I know.
Just whoa.
But yeah, so there are the human type Pokemons. Some are less human than others.
And then there's the goth line.
But all fit in balls. whether you
Gothita,
like it or not.
Gotharita, and Gothiel.
Okay.
They're literally just a goth GF with bad fashion.
Excuse? Bad fashion?
Yeah, literally.
How dare you?
Yeah, I'm not here for them.
Because you're the arbiter of fashion.
I am
Us in our matching
very
tank
fashionable.
tops.
It's true. It's
Oh,
true.
yeah.
That's how you know that I have good sense and
We
clothing.
have couples tank tops.
Yeah.
Deal with it, internet. Anyway, yeah, there's human shaped Pokemon. There's a cute boy, a very cute boy. What was it? Frosty Moe boy?
The Frosty Moe lad.
Yeah.
Yes. What is his name? Grusha?
Grusha.
Grusha.
He's the ice gym leader.
He got announced a few months back, and the entire internet was like, yes, he's adorable. He's wonderful. He's everything we want him to be. And then everyone else was like, wait a minute, what if he's got a beard under his scarf?
That's okay.
There was legitimately a huge fan base who believed that Grusha had a big fluffy beard under his scarf, and they were sorely disappointed this weekend when some screenshots with the scarf pulled down were posted and proved that ya boy's face was smooth and clean. Not a hair in sight.
He looks like he belongs in Skate the Infinity.
He
does.
does.
He really looks like, what's his name? Was it Yuki? Blue-haired boy in Skate the Infinity.
Yeah. He even snowboarded.
And Tony Hawk's Moe Skater.
Yep. I would play that game.
I would too. But the new Pokemon game is shaping up to be pretty cool. Hopefully we'll be able to talk about it in a future episode a little bit more.
Speaking of future episodes, I think the next episode might be our season
Preview?
our anime season recap, technically, because we had one at the last,
We did.
last end of the season, last episode of the season. So I think we have to do a quick recap, and then we'll do the preview after for fall. So
yes.
that'll be good.
I think that'll be very good.
Yeah. But until then, thank you for listening. I am very sleepy.
Sleepy Jay.
So this is a good time to end the episode so I can take a long nap.
Have a good day, everybody. Have a fantastic rest of your day.
Thanks for listening.
Take
Be
care.
good.